would like, you're welcome to stand, of course, but I know it's hot. Well, good evening. Thank you all so much for coming out, especially in the heat during a global pandemic. It is very much appreciated that you all are here to support the Victim Center and the exciting announcement that we're here to make tonight. As you all probably know, but if you haven't met me yet, my name is Brandy Bartell, the Executive Director for the Victim Center, and I am thrilled to have you be here with us. This is a special day and an exciting announcement for our organization, the Victim Center. Our organization exists to foster safety and health in our communities by walking with victims along their journey from trauma and tragedy to hope and healing. Our mission has a two-pronged approach: to directly serve those who have been impacted by violent or sexual crimes, and to keep community members safe through prevention education. All of our services, of course, are free of charge and include trauma-focused mental health counseling, advocacy, and a 24-hour crisis response line. I have been very privileged to be a part of the Victim Center for almost 16 years, and during my tenure, I have been very humbled to witness how our services not only change lives, but save lives. The work that we do truly creates a more vibrant community as victims are able to deal with the immediate crisis and then move beyond their trauma to find a sense of normalcy and healing. Children are able to return to school and extracurricular activities. Parents have the tools that they need to support their children. Adults can return to work or school, finding stabilization sometimes for the very first time in their lives. So it is with great pride that I share that the Victim Center plans to help even more people in our community thanks to its new headquarters located right here at 815 West Tampa Street. At this time, I'm going to invite up Scott Rose, ex officio board president for the Victim Center, who will share our plans for the new headquarters.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to, on behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you for joining us this evening. Several years ago, the Victim Center Board was faced with the challenge of how to meet the increasing needs that the Victim Center, the needs for the Victim Center services. Over the last 10 years, the services have actually increased by 87%. And in 2019 alone, the victims served a record-breaking 4,657 victims. This situation was made even more challenging by the fact that the Victim Center was out of space in our current building at 819 North Boonville. The limited facility stunted the agency's ability to hire more staff, recruit more volunteers, and expand our programs. It also created a waiting list for the Victim Center's trauma-based focused counseling, something that's weighed heavily on the Board of Directors and the staff for quite a while now. Today, for example, the Victim Center has over 230 victims waiting as long as 3 to 4 months for counseling. This is an important service for children and adults who are facing their darkest days. Without having immediate access to this resource, victims are more at risk to experience long-term health concerns, anxiety, depression, and even suicide. This building represents hope to our community. It embodies growth for the Victim Center's mission to ensure that all persons in our community can enjoy a life free from violence and corresponding trauma. The building, previously owned by Volt Credit Union, will allow the Victim Center 50% more space to increase our capacity. The lot also has ample parking. It's a nice private setting, and there's room to grow in the future. The Victim Center hopes to begin remodeling efforts no later than January of 2021. with a move-in date scheduled for spring of 2021. We hope to transform the drive-through and teller areas of the building, for instance, into a large classroom space for client services. And even though COVID-19 requires social distancing, we're not planning on doing a drive-through counseling at this time. So we're gonna use that space better suited for our needs. Right now, I'd like to introduce Loretta Roney, president of Volt Credit Union, and she's going to be followed by Julie Wagner, the current president of the Victim Center. Thank you.
Thank you, and on behalf of Volt Credit Union, we could not be prouder to be a part of this event today. While this event is all about the Victim Center, we've been working with Brandy, and the Victim Center has an excellent leader in her. But her and I have been working for almost a year now on putting this deal together to make today happen. And we feel like through this event, what's going to happen is that Volt is going to continue to live out our dreams and go on with our future expansion plans. And the Victim Center is now going to be able to fulfill their dreams and live out their plan to help more people in our community. This really aligns with the vision that Volt Credit Union has for serving our community, and so we couldn't be prouder to be a partner with them on this initiative. In addition, we have recently announced our 85,000 Sparks initiative to help our community, and so we would like to present another check to them as a surprise today for another $1,000 to get them started on building their dreams in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Loretta. Volt has been wonderful to work with on this project, and they have even generously agreed to donate the furniture in the building to the Victim Center. So I'm sure we'll be able to find a good use for all of that. It's in this vein of cooperation and generosity that the Victim Center is excited to announce its Build Hope campaign, a $1.3 million fundraising campaign that has made this building and services for more victims possible. We want to publicly thank the donors who have contributed to our success so far, and also encourage others to support this project. To date, the Victim Center has raised 86% of its fundraising goal, thanks to the generosity in part to the generosity of our presenting sponsors, O'Reilly Family and O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Victim Center would also like to recognize the generosity of other donors who have made this project possible. These donors include the Lee H. Cruz Trust, SRC, Dr. Nancy O'Reilly, Women Connect for Good, John Giardelli, Estel Brackett, Guarantee Bank, and others. I'd ask that you join me in giving all of these generous donors a round of applause. In addition, we are excited to publicly share that Sherry and Kurt Hellwig have very generously offered to match donations to our campaign dollar for dollar up to $250,000. We are so thankful for this opportunity to double their impact for good, and we hope the community will consider joining them with their support. And last but not least, the Victim Center just recently learned that the Maybe Foundation has pledged $35,000 to our project if we successfully raise $140,000 towards remodeling the building. To say that we are humbled is an understatement. We still have a lot of work to do to cross the finish line toward our move-in day, but we are confident in the path forward thanks to the outpouring of support from these partners in our community. And now I'll turn it back over to Brandy for some closing comments.
Well, I just want to echo everything that has already been said by Scott and Julie, and expressing my gratitude for all persons, our donors, our board members, certainly our staff, the Capital Campaign Steering Committee, and others who have made today possible. This is truly a dream for those of us at the Victim Center who have been very heavily weighted by the fact that there are individuals in our community waiting to access our services. And that really just isn't okay. Over the years, countless clients have walked through our doors to find safety, to find healing, to find hope. In a season when our society as a whole seems anxious and uncertain, I am especially proud today to be a part of something good worth celebrating. I just want to again thank you all for coming out tonight. This adjourns our formal remarks, but I would like to encourage everybody, if you would choose, to stick around, and Volt has very graciously agreed to give brief tours of the property. And we also want to thank the staff of Volt Credit Union for their gracious hosting of this event tonight. Again, thank you all for making this event possible, and I am looking forward to crossing that finish line in the spring and move-in day in 2021. Good night.